What is up, everybody? Welcome to HotMakes right here on HotMakes Live. I am the Nerdy J. This, my friends, is Richard from the First Layer. Richard, how are you?
Other than getting over the flu, not bad.
Ooh, that's awesome. I mean, not awesome that you're getting over it, but it's awesome that you're getting past it, right? I mean,
Yes. Well, yesterday I had to let Brian do our live show by himself, so
I saw that.
he's probably not very happy with me that I'm here tonight.
Well, Brian, I'm sorry, but you can jump on if you want to. If you want in, just chat. We'll bring you in. No, you have a great show, The First Layer, and we'll get back to that in 1 second. But first, I got to say this right away. Thank you so much for sponsoring Hot Makes. We definitely appreciate that. Thanks is sponsoring the show tonight with a $50 Amazon gift card, and towards the end of the episode, we'll definitely draw a winner. You have to be present to win. There'll be links in the chats. There's a link in the description, all of the places, but you have to sign up and you have to be present to win. Thank you so much, Thangs. Over 5 million, probably close to 6 million models now. So that is just,
Wow.
it's crazy what Thangs is doing. But thank you so much for being here. And let's get back to you. So, Richard, I mean, we've known each other for quite a while. You were on one of the
Yeah.
original community showcase shows, I think you and Brian, and that was a couple of years ago, probably.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I mean, some of the people, or most of the people here, probably know who you are. I think Jerry knows who you are for sure, right? But
Jerry and I go way back to when I first started this whole thing.
that's right. But for those who don't, before we go too much further, who are you? What do you guys do, and where can we find you?
Well, the First Layer is a program that is based in education first. We are on Facebook, as you know. You can find us in our group at the First Layer. We're a group over there. You can follow me on Instagram, which is the number one ST Layer. And then, of course, if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can, but I don't do a whole lot on Twitter. So, and that's Cleveland I am at Cleveland I am on Twitter. The show itself started out basically because of frustration. I got into this almost 6 years ago now, and the first printer I got was a Hicktop 3DP08, all built on an acrylic frame.
Ooh,
Horrible board. It was the second generation of what used to be the stack ramps,
okay.
and now they made it into one board. Still an 8-bit board, but very poorly assembled. Um, I probably spent another $250 in parts to upgrade and get things going. More
Jeez.
so than, excuse me, more so than just to get it to work properly, because it just wouldn't work properly. And then once I got it tuned, um, for a
It's
guy who
very
didn't know
loose.
anything, I decided, okay, I'm going to do all the research I can, and I'm going to build my own. So I set about to build my own Prusa clone. So I did that because everything for the Prusas are online. You can
Right.
find the DFX files to get things cut out. And I did that. And then I built a Wilson 2. If you're familiar with that, it was a small community project. Built one of
Okay.
those and said, this is crazy. There's nobody out here teaching people how to do this. There's lots of guys on the internet going, oh, hey, look what I made. Um, and not a pickle jar, but look what I made with
Right.
this filament on that printer. Have a nice day. And there was so much of that, and there was so little of explaining. Well, how does this thing work? How does this
Yeah.
make everything work? And if you've got problems with this, how do you solve this, right? So I did a lot of my own experimentation. Fortunately enough, I got hooked up with a local company here in Calgary, and they gave me the opportunity to start the show. So that's how the show became.
Nice.
Uh, got started 4 years ago
Oh
in
wow.
October. October 4th was our official anniversary this year for 4 years. So
Sure.
yeah, we've been doing it now 4 years, almost 400 episodes between live streams and regular episodes, and it's going really well. We're just about I'd say maybe 700, maybe 800 subscribers away from hitting 30,000 subscribers on YouTube, which
Awesome.
I never thought we'd get to in this time. So, and I know people hear me say that all the time. So,
No, that's awesome. And I mean, a couple things that I should be taking notes because you have some just awesome information in your videos out there. I mean, not only do you play with 3D printing, but you show people like how to paint them, or you do videos on painting the stuff. We were talking about the Superman you have in the background
yeah,
there,
actually, let
and
me pull them up.
yeah, and I mean, I think I mean
He's not finished yet.
there's there's a series being recorded, or maybe you're done. I'm not sure, but I
No,
know
I'm
I've
not
watched
done.
a
I'm
bunch of
not
your
done.
videos when that was like nothing. That was a blank slate, you know. And for someone like me who doesn't paint at all,
Mhm.
except for my fancy pouring stuff that does something, I don't know. You know, I don't. I just watch and I'm just like, holy moly, you pulling out the brushes, the air brushes, like all the cool stuff. And you talk about printers and you just have such an awesome variety of making in general on the channel. And you talked about your first printer and you said you put like $250 into that. Do you remember how much it cost to begin with, like the very
I
first one?
think the printer was right around 450
Yeah.
on Amazon.
It, so, so the
Yeah,
printer is say it was 450,
yeah,
450, and then you put another Ender 3, you know, V2 into it.
yeah, basically.
and the and it probably still will never print as good as that Ender 3 or original Ender 3 even, you know.
No,
Um
actually, you're right about that. It never would print nearly as well. I mean, it was a means to an ends for me
right.
to learn more about or deep diving into the world of 3D printing on more of the technical side than it was on the, well, let's just print something and see how it goes. I really wanted to know more. And when I get focused on something, I really get focused on something. And I tend to spend a lot of my waking time reviewing and reading and practicing. And really, that's what it was. Like the two builds that I did were the biggest part of my learning.
Right.
And then, of course, I learned more and more as I watch shows like yours and watch other guys that are up and coming, like Shep and other guys like
Yeah.
that. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing how far 6 years has brought in 3D printing. You know,
Oh,
or
yeah.
taken I should say 3D printing. So I have a good friend of mine named Steve. He's the one that he got an original printer. It was probably
Hmm.
7 8 years ago or something. It was like $1,200, and he was so excited. And he printed this little piece, and he brought it to work. And he's a good friend and a coworker of mine. And he's like, check this out. And I was like, but you made that? That was really cool. And until that point, I really never paid attention to 3D printing. And then fast forward a few years, Ender 3 comes out in the summer of what I think 2019. I think it was right around
2019,
the
yeah.
Earth,
Yeah.
something like that. And yeah, 2018. And he's like, hey, I just got this printer. The one he had bought the company went out of business, and he couldn't find a part to fix it. And so he bought an Ender 3, and he's like, I got this printer. It cost me $230, and it's called an Ender 3, and this thing will blow my $1,200 printer out of the water. And I'm just like, holy moly, it was really cool. And that just kind of set me off. I was like, now they're affordable. We can jump into 3D printing, which is really cool. Bunch of people saying hi. Rogue Gum Shield, hey, how are you? Battle Cry, Akuma Mods, Matt, how are you? Mike, RC Maniac, how you guys doing? But yeah, I mean, it's amazing how far the technology and the hobby has come, and watching your channel is definitely a huge help. Brian is an awesome resource. He is one of the most technical people that I know
Me
as
too.
far as that stuff goes.
He's a great guy for the software end of it. I'm more the hardware guy. He's more the software guy. And when we first met, he was actually a customer
Oh,
of
nice.
the store that I had the studio in at the time, and that's how we met.
Nice.
And he just kind of gravitated into my office. We got talking, and more and more, and I realized he had knowledge that I didn't. So when it came to things like Marlin, even though I have a computer background or a background in computer science and
Sure.
networking, it really wasn't something that I was looking to get into. But I know through the hobby, you have to know more than enough to be
Right.
dangerous.
Right.
And Brian was a very good resource for that because at the end of the day, I could tell you, you know, what that little screw is, what the thread is, and and that sort of thing. I could tell you how to build it, but he was really instrumental in helping me figure out some of the software issues that I was having. And now I know
Nice.
Marlin pretty good. So yeah,
That, I mean, really, that's awesome to have that knowledge, and they're making it. What's cool about it, as the tools progress with the printers, it makes it easier and easier for anyone to start playing with the firmwares, right? With Marlin,
mm,
people like TH3D, Gyres, the community firmware, all those people are putting out really good packages now, and there's a bunch of them. And
mm-hmm.
you know, you can take those, do your adjustments, and throw them on your printer, and you don't have to write 1,000 lines of code to do
Yeah.
that.
Oh, believe me, I remember writing thousands of lines of code back in the
Yeah.
C plus days.
Yeah, not me. I do not. I have friends that are coders. Some people on this show are that are watching right now. Play with code, but I do not have the attention span to sit and look at the matrix for,
I
for
don't
that long.
either anymore, but you got to remember, I come from a background where we introduced Fortran in our high school, and that was back on an Apple II.
Yeah, well, there you go.
So we had like big floppy drives,
Yep. The first
and
computer I had at home was an
mhm.
Apple IIe. I think
Oh
the
wow.
Apple IIs were in the schools back then, though. But yeah, I definitely remember the big floppies.
I remember when I got my first tape drive for my own computer. That was interesting because I couldn't record music on it anymore. I could just record what sounded like a really bad 96 baud modem. So,
Oh man, so good.
yes,
Well, I
I'm old.
hey, that's okay though. I mean, what's cool is we have in the community we have such a wide range. People just entering. I mean, people in school now are being taught 3D printing. My niece is 11. She's gonna come after me. I know. You know what? She just turned 13. We just had her birthday, and she's 13. So don't come after me, Bree. But she's 13, and they're teaching her CAD. And what's really cool is she can take the CAD that she makes in this class and bring it over to a 3D printer and print out in the end what she's doing. And when we were 13, we definitely. I mean, I didn't have that for sure. And the age group in this whole community is such a wide range that it's really cool that way. I think we have everybody just from like her age all the way up to I know a couple people that watch her in their 80s. And so I think that's so cool. um
Well, it's funny because when you were talking about education, I was just out at the C.W. Perry School in Airdrie, which is just north of where I live. I mean, it's a 20-minute drive for me. I was out there a
uh,
couple of weeks ago. I don't know if you remember last year, was it last year or the year before, that Creality sent me out the Ender 3v2 when that first came out.
sure.
And I didn't have really any use for it. I had no space for it. As you can see, I've got two
Yeah.
printers behind me. There's one on the floor here. There's two
Right.
back there. There's one over there. And this isn't the printer room. That's upstairs. So I really didn't have any space for it. So I phoned up my friend who is a teacher at the school, and I said, "Would you be interested in a free 3D printer for your school?"
Sure.
Well, he just about soiled himself and said yes, and I brought it out to them, and then they
Nice.
bought five more of the exact same model and brand.
Nice.
And I went out and I helped them put it all together. And recently, I was just out there in front of the students actually talking about 3D printing, going through the different stages that you go
Sure.
through and things to watch out when you're making your models and things like that. So, yeah, education is now becoming a big part of it. It's like anything else. They introduced computers into schools when I was young. when I was in my teens, and now they're introducing 3D printing to kids in their teens, and it's an awesome resource. You know, it was
Nice.
Bill Gates who said there's going to be a printer in every home by whatever year he said, and or a computer in a home by whatever year. And I feel the same way about 3D printers. They're going to be in every home in 10, 15 years from now. They're just going to be that thing that you buy.
Right. Well, that thing that you buy that can make what you want. I mean,
Yeah, absolutely.
so there's food printers already too. I mean, that's that's a thing in restaurants, So that's pretty cool. But I mean, the cool thing is, I mean, we're both here. Our channels exist because of the community, right? We have fun. We help teach. We do fun videos. We do here's like how-to videos, tutorials. You guys do a show, I think, every week on Sundays.
We do
I
a
think
live stream every week on
Ask Help,
Sundays.
right?
We usually do a new episode every week on Saturdays.
Nice, and that's perfect because I mean people can jump on your channel at the first layer there and ask any questions. I think you submit earlier on Facebook too, right? You ask for questions there too.
Yeah.
And that's so cool because it's kind of like a live tech line, and you guys go through and try to help out if you have the questions and talk about what you're doing and stuff. And I think that's true. We carry computers in our pockets.
Yeah.
We carry 3D printers in our pockets. No, but if you ask Mitch, he carries one on his back. So he has the backpack printer.
We can carry the tool to operate a 3D printer.
That's
pocket,
right.
Right. So
that's right. I mean this is a little supercomputer. Imagine back in the Apple II days, someone trying to wrap their brain around, or even before that, having this as your computer. That's and I challenge whoever's watching right now, chat in the comments below, or in the chat. But how often, besides work, do you use your computer? Because I have a laptop, a desktop in an office. I have the desktop out here, and the one I use out here is just for filming and for printers and lasers and stuff like that. But the one in my office, I mean, I barely touch it. I'm on this more than anything that I have.
I'm kind of 50-50 split.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah. If it wasn't for work, because I also do computer work, so if it wasn't for work, man, it would be tough. I spent most of my times just because it's so easy to ask whatever person you have in your phone, if it's Google or Alexa or whoever, right? A question or just search quick, and there you go, all day and retired there.
Jerry's not retired. He's still working.
Ben says phone.
He likes to think he's retired.
Yeah. I mean, I use my computer. I use a computer daily, but I am on this more than anything I'm on, and it's crazy to think about that. Like, how much this is really part of your life and how much it can do. Like you said, I can start prints. I can look at Octoprint. If I want to fire up a remote to go to this computer and throw something on the laser, I can. I mean, but what's really cool is that, bringing this kind of back to the community is what keeps channels like ours going, right? And
absolutely,
that's why this show exists, because we want to give back, and show the really cool stuff that we're going to talk about soon, like the HotMakes off. And also, we don't do a lot of questions here about printers because this is more of like, wait, let's show everything off that people are making. So I challenge everybody out there, if you're watching this and you have questions, jump on Richard's show on Sunday, ask him the questions, because him and Brian are super knowledgeable. I mean, Brian's knowledge of Marlin and programming, it explodes my head.
He does that every day. So like he's working on complicated valve systems.
Got it.
Computer controlled valve systems. So he's doing that every day. So Marlin to him is just an extension of what he does every day. So it's very easy for him to get.
That makes sense. Yeah.
To get into it. Whereas for me, I mean, if I got to fix a line of code, it's easy. When it comes to Marlin, I prefer just vanilla Marlin, and I'll go in and change what I need to change for whatever printer I'm building or putting it on. So, yeah,
I think a really cool video idea would be configuring vanilla Marlin, like on some new printer, it could be the newest Ender, or I think the Ender 3 V2 is good. I know there's a bunch of videos out there or ideas, but like you said, you prefer the vanilla style, right? So right now there's gyres.
I've actually got a couple of videos on the channel that are like that.
On
that would kind of walk you through vanilla Marlin and how to set it up for an Ender 3.
Oh, nice. Is it? Yeah. But is it the new like the new version of Marlin?
It was done back with 1.9.
So you don't have to use VS Code and all that stuff.
Yeah, you're still using the Arduino IDE interface.
Yeah, and I think that's just thinking about that too. I think I've done the TH3D and the community firmware that way, but I haven't done like a scratch one, right? And I think there you go. Great idea for a video, because now it's completely different than that.
But the funny thing about that is you have so many guys that have done variations on Marlin. TH3D, Tim's a great guy. And you got Printed Solid, who's done their version of it, which is a very popular version as well. I find once you strip away all the fluff, Marlin becomes very, very condensed, and only use what you need to use. Everything else is fluff. And if you've only got a board, like, it's funny, I've got boards all over the place. If you've got an 8-bit board, the chances of it being able to buffer the information that it needs coming off the card can be pretty slow, and it can slow down things for you. Whereas moving to something like a 32-bit board was a big jump in technology, but it made it easier for your prints to be more successful and not to get that stopping, which I've seen so many times in a printer, where it'll do a layer and then it'll stop for a second, and then it'll do another layer and then stop for a second. And that all has to do with the way that these 8-bit boards utilize the information that was in their firmware. So at the end of the day, I think that the more that we understand how things work, the better off we're going to be as technology is starting to advance again. We're into the 32-bit boards. The next big jump is going to be the 64-bit boards, which some people are in development that I can't talk about. But I can't talk about who's doing that. But there are 64-bit boards that you're going to see probably showing up mid-year next year. Fourth quarter of next year,
That's crazy. And 32-bit is already awesome. I mean, it's crazy for a 3D printer, but 64 is going to be nuts.
Well, the speed of how we do things. Think of it back in the computer days. I mean, we went from computers that had really no memory, or 16K of memory, to my desktop here, the one that I use for streaming and doing all of my shows. This one has 32 gigabytes of onboard memory. And, my video card has 16 gigabytes of onboard memory. There's so much that's going on, and hopefully we get it earlier, but I don't see us getting these new boards, or at least hints of these new boards, until the fourth quarter of 2022, just because of the chip shortage that's going on right now.
Jerry's saying their 64 bits are already out with the Panda Pi board.
That's a Panda Pi board. That's totally different from a 64-bit board like this.
Gotcha. I haven't seen the Panda Pi board, so now I'm curious what it is. But we've talked about the printers and the boards a little bit, and what you guys do. I think we have a Hot or Not tonight, and this is going to be a fun one. It's actually going to show what the printers can do, and I'm really pumped about that. So let's jump into a Hot or Not real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, the Hot or Not. All right. So I see him in the chat right now. My friend David Wilson sent me something, and he doesn't know I'm going to put it on the show right now. So surprise. But he sent me something that is so cool. This right here is a giant Oreo box.
I want one.
this thing is huge. I mean, it is thick. We'll do this. This is next to a can of water or soda, whatever. It's a nice thick huge box. The layers are awesome, by the way. David, you got your stuff dialed in there. This looks really nice. The cool thing about it is it opens, and if I have it upside down, it opens, and I did have it upside down, and there's like a whole storage area. This thing is huge. This thing's a beast. It's seriously huge. There we go. You can see it's. Let's see if I can zoom it or focus it. There we go. It's deep, and the layers are awesome. Thank you so much, Wilson. David. This is found on Thangs. He went to Thangs and found this, and he actually printed inside of here Oreo forks. So let us know in the chat if you think this is hot or not. But I love this. This is let's see if I can focus. There we go. An Oreo fork. I don't suggest using this with little kids, but hey, why not? You stab your Oreo, and you can eat it with an Oreo fork. And I love that he made them in the different Oreo colors even. This is just too fun. Have you seen this box out there before?
No, this is the first time I'm seeing it. And those Oreo forks look awesome.
They do. They're actually pretty sharp, and the layers are awesome. I love that they say Oreo in the middle, and just like the box itself. I see there's a looks like Geary put up a hot or not poll in the chat there. So the box says Oreo right in the center. I mean, the layers are phenomenal, and this thing is heavy. This thing is super heavy, actually. The other cool thing he did is Halloween 2021 with a little a quarter in the center.
Nice.
So that was pretty cool. Let's see if I can focus that in. Come on now. There we go. So that was really cool. And then the other really cool thing he did was, not only did he print this awesome box, which I'm going to attempt to put back together here. There we go. Everybody's saying hot, fire. I'm gonna vote here. Let's see, for sure hot. But this box,
I think it's hot.
Yeah, this thing took a while to build. Not only did he put this together, thank you so much, David. By the way, I really appreciate this because I need to get a 5-gallon bucket of water, so I'll be right back. But inside joke, but not really inside because everybody knows. They gave me a hard time because I said I'd dunk my Oreos in water once. Here we go with that.
Americans.
Yeah. Things we do, right? Too funny.
Excuse me.
But what the cool thing about it is that David actually put notes together with the thing on there, right? With
nice.
Actual item. He put he went to Thangs, and he looks like he went from Thangs and found the model on another site. And let's see, Chris Nerys actually had this at looks like at Murph in 2019, which is cool. But he actually printed out everything from the site and sent that to me. And the other cool thing I thought was it tells you how to build it and what settings to use. And let's see. Also, a picture of the Oreo fork. So the documentation is awesome because then if I wanted to find this and print it, he printed it all off for me, and I don't have to save this. I can look on here. So thank you so much, David. I really appreciate that. Such a cool idea, and I know that the jokes keep coming with the Oreo stuff, and I'm okay with it. So you can send them over. I have the little Oreo cup that goes on the side of the mug, and there's another pull out there, and I appreciate that too. But thank you so much for this because I thought it was.
You know what the weird thing is for me about that?
Yeah,
is the fork, the little cup, all that stuff. To me, that's just way too complicated to put on my cup of milk. I just put the damn things right in my mouth.
I love it. No, I can't wait to try. I'm gonna have to get some and try it with a little Oreo fork because I'm curious how it works. Because like you dip it in the milk, right, and it gets like a little bit soft, and it might slide off. I'm not sure. Now I'm gonna find out. I think Geary is trying to set me up. He put another poll out there that says, Jim dunking his Oreos in water hot or not, and it says not or still not. So there's no hot in there. Come on, Geary.
There is no hot with that. It's not gonna happen. Also, don't forget, you were saying it takes too much time to dunk the Oreos and things. Don't forget the Makers on Tap guys came up with the brilliant idea of the pre-moistened Oreos.
That's right, Joe and the guys from Makers on Tap, pre-moistened Oreos. We got to make that happen. I think still.
It's just a plastic bag.
I think that's a good
Oreo
idea.
mush in it.
It's just a plastic bag of milk with Oreos inside. That would be
all the black cookie is at the bottom.
Yeah, right, David. I definitely will let you know next week if the forks work, because it's a really cool idea and I really appreciate it. I love that. I love the little coin thing, and thank you so much, man, for sending it to us. If you guys want to send anything to be shown off, the address is in the description below. All you have to do is shoot it over, and we'll get it and throw it on the show in the future. Jim left Santa water and cookies. Oh man, we're on this again. I love it. But that brings us into some awesome stuff. I know, man, we have some really cool stuff to show off this week. I'm just looking at time, and we better get rolling. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's do some HotMakes.
This bumper's probably going to be really loud, so sorry. Ooh, that was loud. Was that loud on your end?
I can't hear you.
Right.
What?
That's fine.
That's bad.
We're good. Now let me share. I'm changing
Well,
this
Jim
so we
was
have
pulling that
audio.
up. Context. Our mics were really quiet, so we turned the stream volume up, which makes the bumpers way too loud this week.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. No, we're good.
No,
Hey,
it's all
ladies and
good.
gentlemen, we have some awesome HotMakes tonight, and the first one starts off from Bill Ellis. Man, I think this is awesome. He says, "Hey, Protopasta, just finished printing my 3D sets Bugster using some Protopasta HTP LA. Look at this.
That's amazing.
This is clean.
You know what I like about 3D printing is the fact that now we are our own model designers, our own model kit builders, and we can do whatever we want, because even if the kit's not out on the shelf in your local hobby store, if you know the NPCs of the world and companies like that, Ertl don't make it anymore, guess what? We can make it ourselves now.
It's true for sure. I love it. My ears are fine, but Webberry. Jeez. I think this is a phenomenal build. I've been playing with my last video I did it on the 1/24 scale micro trucks, and they're over here, and I think doing a body like this is in my future, because they make bugs, they make all sorts of bodies that people are doing, or you can find bigger ones and scale them down to fit. And I mean, I got to say, this is phenomenally done. Great color choice, and just a great job.
Beautifully done. Beautifully done.
And
even the white on the wheels is cool. On the tires, you don't see that very often.
I wonder if those are 3D printed. I'm curious. It says black fiber for the cloth, or matte fiber black for the cloth top, gold for the bodywork, blue for the seats, the hi-fi blue, clover leaf metallic green trim. But he doesn't say anything about the actual tires. So let us know if you guys know this person. Ask him if it's their rubber tires or he printed them, because either way they look cool.
Yeah, they look very cool.
All right, what's next? All right, Abby Brown. She is with us tonight. She made something called the skull. I think it's square, triangle, circle. I don't even know. The square angle. Maybe that's what it. Maybe that's how you say it. I know she Squirnoggle.
Yeah.
Squirnoggle. And this is really cool. So depending on the orientation or projection of the model is what you get. So if you look at it here, kind of gives you that square look, right? But if you turn it, now you see the triangle or the circle there. Such a cool idea here. And
is that comment? She doesn't even know how to pronounce it.
Your guess is as good as mine.
Squirrel. I like it. So if we come down, we can actually see it on the bed, and this is such a cool print. Vase mode, nearly maximizing the print volume of her bed there, and it's funny. Here we go. It's French. Squirrel. Have you seen? I mean, do you design many models? I should say many.
I don't design a lot. I do a little bit of design. I'm a more pencil and paper kind of guy. I always have been that way. Wrapping my head around 3D design tends to get a little rough around the edges at times, and then I send it over to Brian, and he does all the cleanup on it.
Nice. I don't. So you're ahead of me already.
I think my biggest project was rockets we did a couple of summers ago.
I remember that.
And I got to tell you, man, that was a project and a half, because the first ones that we did were kind of a hybrid of paper tubes and 3D printed fins and nose cones and cans and things like that on the first ones that we did. And then the second ones that we did 3 kind of the same rocket, but all in different types of materials. One we did very traditionally with wood and plastic and cardboard. The other 2, one was fully 3D printed right down to the tube that held the engine or the motor mount. And it was completely 3D printed in PETG with a couple of pieces printed in ABS. And then we turned around and did one that was kind of a hybrid of both. So it had the plastic or the 3D printed nose cone, the cardboard tube, and everything else was 3D printed, the fins and the launch lugs and the whole 9 yards. Yeah.
And you guys designed those, or
I designed it right from in Fusion 360, right from the ground up. I took an existing design that I had seen online from one of the rocket companies that's out there, and I kind of contacted them and said, look, I'd like to take this design and kind of modify it and make a completely 3D printed rocket out of it. Are you okay with that? And they went, yeah, go ahead. It'll blow up on you, but go ahead. Surprisingly enough, it did not blow up. It actually went to one of the sponsors of that particular episode, because they supplied us with a bunch of the electronics that we put inside. And the funny thing was that now they have it hanging in their showroom.
Nice.
And it, I feel pride every time I walk in there, because that was something that I printed from the ground up. Not only did I print it, but I did all the design and worked out all the flaws before we flew it. So
that's awesome. And I like my biggest design achievement right now is the bridge pieces that I did for my last episode, and that was a rectangle with 2 holes. So there's that. But Abby, nice work. We
That's
have a
gorgeous.
few more things from Abby, and my eyes are watering here because I'm trying not to laugh here from this next one. She made a mini gym hat by the suggestion of 3D printing llama, the Squirnsicle mini gym hat. Mini gym hat. So this is my Wexter mini gym, and the hat that fits the mini gym. It kind of fits real life. It's kind of like a dunce hat, isn't it? It's just...
I need a mini Richard and a mini Brian.
Yes, that would be awesome. Then we could have like a whole mini party.
There you go.
This was that was awesome. I saw this and I literally laughed out loud. I thought, man, this is funny. So nice work with the challenge there, Llama and Abby. Great to bring it to fruition. Are you are you feeling like a square or triangle? Oh,
is
so
so
good,
cool.
so good. Nice work. My eyes are watering now. Oh man, too funny. The next one. This one is really cool. So my first resin 3D printing test ever, done with the Elegoo Mars 2. Um, he was anxious, but it came out so well. Miniatures are next. If anyone has the Hero Forge minis characters they want and made for real life Dungeon and Dragon. Oh wait, if anyone has Hero Forge mini characters they want made for real Dungeon and Dragons free ? Nice. So my question to you when I saw this, why I thought of you instantly. I don't remember much resin or any on you guys' channel. Do you guys do
We
much resin?
we have done some in the
Okay.
past.
It's very little though, if I remember.
Yeah, right now it is. I want to incorporate it more. I'm just trying to find a way to do that and make it educational. I mean, I can sit here
Sure.
and print day in, day out. I've got
Yeah.
an episode coming up that's going to kind of walk you through my workflow
Okay.
and what I do with the printers that I have. I've got a Creality and I've got a Frozen.
Oh yeah.
And what I'm doing, and I've been trying to get this episode out for weeks, but it's not happening sometimes.
It's elusive.
Yes, it's elusive. So I just have to do the voiceover, and it should be done. It should be coming out this week, actually.
Nice.
And then I'm
nice.
going to take that, and once that primer's done, I'm going to break it down, and we'll go through each section one at a time and really
Nice.
dial in for people that are just wanting to get into resin, what the ups and downs are of resin. I love it. I think it does great. I've done statues for clients that are a mixture of both traditional FDM and resin printing, and then
Sure.
painted them up.
I was
But,
going to say the painting thing is perfect. I mean, resin is so awesome when it comes off and it's finished and cured. Painting wise, that it takes the primer. I mean, I've just seen a bunch of videos that I've never done this myself, but seems like it takes the primer really well, and then painting wise, the detail you get is just it's crazy, right?
Well, you can go down as low with most of the desktop printers right now because we're moving into that higher resolution 4K and going with mono screens as opposed to the RGBs that
Right.
a lot of them came out with in the beginning. I think what we're seeing now is an actual quick turnaround to getting those minis printed, and they can print much better resolutions than they could even 2 years ago.
Yeah, for
If
sure.
you remember the original Photon,
Yeah,
the original Photon could go down as low. They said in the documentation it could go down as low as 10 microns. In reality, it could only go down as low as 50 microns.
I think it was
And
50. Yeah.
Yeah, where you'd get a decent print. My camera seems to be going in and out. I apologize. But at the end of the day, when you kind of take a look at it, hang on a second. This is driving me nuts.
No worries. We'll keep moving. And I think you're right. It's crazy how fast that I have the Mars 3 and it is absolutely crazy fast. As far as print speeds go, it is so fast. I have
Yeah.
another resin printer right over here that I'm going to do a live stream probably this week actually on, and hopefully that one as fast. But the resolution on the one I'm going to open soon is supposed to be just, crazy right now and I think it's even getting better. But I know I just looked at the time, so nice work though on the resin printing. We can't wait to see
Beautiful.
more. I know you did post some more, or he did tag some more later, but I wanted to make sure I got this one because this was your first one. All right, what do we got next? Abby Brown again. So the next two are virtually the same thing. It's just in different process. Abby is a wizard at some of this stuff. This is a Mosaic Palette 2. I think if I remember right, she has a Palette 3 on order. I have a Palette 3 Pro on order as well, and I can't wait to get it. But the mix, I believe she's using mix mode, and she's printing this vase here. And
Oh, that's gorgeous.
look at that. Great colors. I love the colors that some of our community members come up with because I really suck at picking colors. I'm like, oh, these will look cool together. And then you print and it's like, That was not cool together. Uh, so
This is a young lady who understands the flow of color and how colors can work together. Looking at this and looking at her previous design with the circle, square, triangle thing.
sure.
This to me is the epitome of what 3D printing can achieve with the right tools and the right knowledge and a little bit of patience.
Yeah.
You can certainly achieve some right. Just pull it off the plate, give it to your customer, away you go,
Right.
or even have it for yourself or give it away. I mean,
nice.
these look amazing. I just think that they're absolutely cool. I don't have a mosaic palette, even though they're a Canadian company. I don't have one.
I did not know. Come to think of it, I did because I remember the shipping. But I have a palette too as well, and it is so much fun to use. The problem is I don't have enough time to use it. If that makes any sense, like it's fun when you get it all set up. You get your colors in there. You do something like mix mode or like a random or whatever, and it's a lot of fun. And it's just getting to that point if I need the time to do it. But this is awesome. Nice work, Abby. I mean, all your stuff is killing it, and I hope that your mother-in-law loves this for Thanksgiving. So good. So good. All right, what do we got next? Oh, hey, look, I did put one more in there. I had to because it was he did another one.
Jim, why don't I have this model?
I don't know. It's on Thanks. It's free on Thanks.
I'll have to go get it.
I think the link is in the description actually.
I'm actually on Things over here. Or Thangs.
Yeah, Thanks.
Thanks.
So what's really cool about this is he tagged a bunch of these, right? He said last HotMakes post for a little while, but this one I had to after printing the Edutech, looking pretty cool. I would agree. It looks pretty cool. This is also off Thangs and Elegoo Mars 2. So this is the size of a penny. So that's a tiny mini gym there. And, if I jump over here. Oh, geez. Knocking stuff over. I'm knocking stuff over. So
I do that every week in my show.
So this is a normal mini gym size. Let's see. That's normal mini gym in coax 3D filament.
Nice.
This is a giant mini gym on one of the resin printers there, and I mean that's the difference.
Wow.
So I'm thinking penny size. If this is full size, it's about this size, but through the angle of the video, I couldn't tell. But nice work. I love it. I'm digging the mini gyms tonight, and awesome that you're dialing in your Mars 2. All right, what do we got next? Blasto. Blasto tagged this, I believe. This making progress on my 1/200th scale SpaceX Starship. This is that next to Mr. Potato Head. It's a huge rocket already.
That
if it's,
is.
1/200th scale. You said you
Wow.
made rockets in a video you did, and
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it's not huge, right? Yours, I think you guys were bigger than these. This one,
We were just over a meter long.
That's right.
In our big rockets, yeah.
That's so cool. But I mean, a 1/200th SpaceX Starship looks
Still pretty
cool,
big
so.
sitting next to Mr. Potato Head.
Yeah, sounds like you could drag Mr. Potato Head up with you. Nice work on that, Maker Potato. Very, very good job. And I thought I hit this. There you go. And thanks, Blasto, for tagging us in that. All right, what do we got next? Chris Russell, Practical Printing, says HotMakes. What 2 cork turkey centerpieces look like when they're getting ready to be shipped together. So these are centerpieces for Thanksgiving, and they're made out of like wine corks around.
Yeah.
And they're turkeys, so they must be butted up together. Do you do much like crafting like this?
I do, especially now that I have the laser.
Oh yeah, there you go.
The laser itself is probably one of the best tools I've added to my making in the past year. Because now it allows me to combine something I absolutely love, which is woodworking.
Sure.
I've done woodworking for probably most of my adult life in one form or another. For those of you guys that don't know, I used to be an entertainer, and I was in that business for a long time. And when I finally got out, I took up something that I had to learn when I wasn't on the road performing. And woodworking just seemed to be a natural thing for me because I could visualize what I wanted to make, and then I could make it out of wood. And this
Nice.
right now is an amazing piece, and I see so much creativity in the pieces now that are coming out from people. I mean, they're combining laser engraving and laser cutting with 3D or CNC, little benchtop CNC mills,
CNCs, yeah.
and 3D printing, and adding corks to it. I mean, that thing looks just amazing. It's so cute. I don't want to show my wife, but she'll make me make one.
So cool. Well, nice work. And Vicky, we know Vicky. Vicky, nice work. And I'd
Beautiful.
love to see this stuff. She makes some really cool stuff too. Carl he's doing a clock spring 3D quasar, if I could talk, compartment. And this is printed on a CR10 Smart using Eno Rainbow. I've never used Iono. I've never used that
I've
filament.
never even heard of Iono.
Yeah. So, Carl, this is awesome. Have you done many clock spring prints?
I've never done a clock spring print.
Oh no, we gotta get you on that.
Yeah, I gotta get some of those. I've never done a clock spring print. The only person's prints that I do a lot of are Gusain Kwan from Fab 365. I love
Sure.
his stuff. There's also some great designers out there that I follow, and I've featured them on my show and featured them on
Sure.
our Facebook page quite often. But I'd love to do some clock spring stuff. I don't think we've ever seen any clock spring stuff even on our Facebook page.
Oh no, we better change that. So
Yeah.
Sven, he's an awesome dude, and I think he does everything on Patreon. I think it's like $8 a month, and you get it all. And he has so much stuff, but it's all print in place.
Mhm.
So it could have wheels, hinges. We did the torture toaster. He did torture toaster for us, which is a crazy torture test for 3D printing, and it looks like a toaster, which is really cool. But yeah, Clock Spring, check them out if you're in the market. I think you can buy individual ones in different sites too, but the value is definitely on his Patreon because I think it's $8 and you get everything. It's so good. So let's see what last but not least, this one's a little fun. Tom or Llama says this is a musical hot make. Let me see if I can blow it up a little bit so you can see it. And here we go. Hopefully you can hear that. So good.
That's amazing.
I love it. All right, I got to pause it there. There's so much going on here. This is phenomenal. This is awesome. What do you? I mean,
I
what do you
love
think?
seeing things like this because, pardon me, I love seeing things like this because it's so creative. You start with a beat, and I mean, back in the day, I mean, we did the same thing when we were writing music and laying it down for tracks and things like that. I mean, you start out with one instrument, you get that bass going, or you get the drums going, just to get the timing. And they used the cat to get the timing and sampling the
It's
cat.
so good.
It's amazing. I absolutely love stuff like this. Makes me laugh every time.
Oh, it is. It's so funny. Here you go. Let's see if I can play it from here. Oh, I might be mad because I'm. Oh, come on.
Buffering.
I know, right? Who does that? All right, let me do
You'll
that.
have to send me
There we go.
This he said to me.
I like this one. Ooh, this looks like a complicated beer, sin and wine.
It's just like old fashioned. It's so good. So good. So check out the link in the description below. It'll show everything we showed from this episode. Find episode 79. Holy moly, 79 on the HotMakes. And you'll find a link dump for 79 in the Google Docs. But I mean, awesome job. I think it takes a lot of talent to build off that. And it looked like a lot of people put a lot of time into the cat drinking milk. I think it's about time to give something away. I know we're close to 8, and I don't want to go too far over. So let's get that ready. This is your last call to sign up for the giveaway today. $50 courtesy of Thangs, and that's a $50 gift card to Amazon anywhere in the world, as long as there's an Amazon delivering to your address. If there's not, let me know. We'll work something out, obviously, and you have to be present to win. Real quick before we go, before we do the giveaway, while we're giving some people a little bit of time, how about some quick announcements? We'll do announcements right away. Let's do it.
Okay, listen up, everybody. Turn up your volumes. Announcement.
Attention, we have an announcement. Attention, we have an announcement. Yes, Mom. Yeah, okay. Mom, I'm doing a thing.
Mom, I'm doing a
I love
thing.
it. Yeah, that's my favorite part. So next week we have a surprise guest. I'm not going to give it away right now, so you have to tune in to find out who it is. And the following week after that, that will be November 29th, the weekend. November 29th, I'm sorry. Alex from Laser Everything will be with us. So he is going to be hanging out. We're going to be talking lasers, like we just talked about lasers a few minutes ago. And he has an awesome channel. It's growing super fast, a great community around him on Discord and out there in the community. So Alex from Laser Everything will be with us again next week. Special guest, but tune in to find out who that is. Let's see.
Hey, Jim, while you're
Yeah,
in the mood
listen.
to give stuff away,
Yeah.
hey, let's give one of these away. Let's see. Is it going to come up? There it is. Let's give one of
Awesome.
those away.
A Let's Get 3D printing shirt from the first layer.
Not the handsome man that's in the shirt, but the shirt.
Good. Don't let my wife see that.
So
Nice.
yeah, I'll let you curate it, and you let me know who won, and we'll send one of these T-shirts in the size that they need.
Is it limited by country or pretty much anywhere? Or?
You can send it anywhere. We've got
Perfect.
we use a shipping company here in Calgary that allows us to ship all over the world for a decent price, except in
Nice.
Canada, which is very odd.
Well, ironically, it's expensive for us to ship to Canada too.
Yeah.
So here's what we'll do. I'm going to pull in the wheel. Dun, dun, dun. This is the Wheel of Fangs. I like that. The Wheel of Fangs. I wish I could make this center picture better. It blows it up or makes it tiny, but there's no adjusting it. So I might have to work on that. I'm going to paste in our entrance. 54. There's 70 something people watching currently, and we only got 54 people that want to win. I guess let's do it. So this will be for the $50 gift card to Thangs. Here we go. Oh, hang on.
Rogue Gum Shield.
Hang on.
like that
Actually, I believe they won last week, so I'm going to remove them, and we're gonna spin again. I'm just verifying my date. Yeah, this is the correct date.
Yeah,
I want to make
they
sure I
won
pulled up
last
the right spreadsheet. Yep. So I'm gonna spin again. Sorry, Rogue, but here we go. Oh yeah, little random music.
There we go.
There we go. Mike Phillips.
Congratulations, Mike.
Chat in the text chat, whatever you got to do to let us know you're here, and we'll get you $50 Thangs gift card, or $50 Amazon gift card, courtesy of Thangs. If anyone can tag him or sees him, let me know. I haven't seen him pop up yet. Come on, Mike. Be here.
There he is.
Woohoo! All right. So there was that. That was a $50 Amazon gift card. And next, we'll do one more for a 3D printing t-shirt, courtesy of the First Layer and Richard over there at the First
Let's
Layer.
get 3D printing.
Let's get 3D printing. I was just going to ask you. I was going to say, I thought for a second, I thought it said I'd print that. But but that's
That
another
might be
fun
my
one.
next one.
I like it. I like it. Here we go. Fix 'em, dude.
Fix 'em, dude. That's a cool name, too.
All right. Fix 'em, dude. He's with us right now. I saw him chatting already, and we'll wait till he responds to make sure he's still with us. But Fix 'em, dude. Congratulations. You got yourself a new shirt. I'll hook you up with Richard, and you guys can work out the details of shipping and all that happy stuff. Woo! There we go.
There you go. Fix 'em, dude.
Congratulations. So one more time, I know we're running up against the clock a little bit late, but Richard, I really appreciate you being here. One more time, let everybody know where we can find you, all the things out there.
Well, you can find us first and foremost on YouTube at the First Layer. And then you can find us over on the group section of Facebook, the First Layer. And then if you want to follow me on Instagram, which I gotta up my Instagram game. I'm not sure how to do that, but
Me too.
you can follow us on Instagram. It's the number one ST Layer. So it's the First Layer on Instagram. And once you see this old tired face, you'll know you're there. Yeah, that's where you can find us, or you can, if you need to get in touch with me, you got a question for our show, you can always drop me an email to richard@thefirstlayer.com.
Perfect. And is that where you ask for the help entries, or is that on Facebook?
No, we actually have an email dedicated just for Ask for Help, which is our Sunday show, and that is questions@thefirstlayer.com.
Perfect. Well, perfect. Well, I really appreciate it again. Thank you so much for coming on and co-piloting this crazy fun community show. And I really appreciate it. Keep doing the awesome work you're doing on the First Layer, and we look forward to more videos coming soon.
Jim, I always love hanging out with you, and it's been a blast. And I hope to have you on my show soon, talking more about laser, because you know more about laser than I do.
I'm in. Let's do it. I think
right.
We'll have to talk lasers after the show. Stick around right there. We'll be right back. Everybody else, thank you so much for hanging out with us for another Monday right here on HotMakes. Don't forget, jump on the Twitters and hit #HotMakes on all the cool stuff you see. It doesn't have to be 3D printing. It could be any making stuff out there. We saw a cat music video tonight. It could be woodworking, lasers, painting, anything you guys see out there. We want to start featuring it all. So we'll see you guys next week, same time, 6 p.m. Central, right here on HotMakes. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.